Messi is once again the center of the football world. Argentina's head coach reveals why he is a role model for everyone. Kylian Mbappé and France's head coach have also made headlines with their latest comments following the third-place playoff. Meanwhile, Julian Alvarez has made a firm decision regarding Atletico Madrid that could change his future after the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Before the video begins, here's a question for all of you. Who do you think will become the world champion, Argentina or Spain? Share your prediction, along with your final score, in the comments below. And if you're a Lionel Messi fan, make sure you've subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to leave a like on this video so that even more football fans can join the discussion. Argentina head coach. Messi is the origin and the role model for everyone, and the fans expect us to win the title. Argentina National Team head coach Lionel Scaloni, the reigning FIFA World Cup champion, emphasized ahead of Sunday's final against Spain that the fans are the driving force behind the team's determination to bring the trophy back home. He also praised team captain Lionel Messi, saying that everyone should appreciate what Messi has accomplished after leading La Albiceleste to the World Cup final at the age of 39. Speaking during the pre-match press conference, Scaloni said, "I am proud of what the players have shown because they fought until the very last second, even though we did not have much time to prepare. I will speak with them to assess their condition, but overall, everyone is doing well." When asked about Argentina's chances of defending their World Cup title, Scaloni replied, "When you see your people, the way they celebrate and how happy they are, it has a huge impact on you, and it's impossible not to be moved by it." He added, "In the end, we play for the fans. This team plays for the country and for their families." Boca Juniors and River Plate supporters, who are fierce rivals at home, embrace each other and celebrate together in front of the television. How could something like that not touch your heart? Messi's influence. Scaloni then continued by speaking about Messi's influence on the team. Reaching the World Cup final at the age of 39 is something extraordinary. We have to appreciate everything he has done. He has achieved something that, years ago, was considered impossible. When asked whether this would be Messi's final match, Scaloni ended his response with a laugh. "How could I possibly know? Reaching this stage and still competing at this level is not easy. I hope we win. But even if we don't, he will always be a role model for everyone." Comments from Kylian Mbappé and France's head coach on Messi after the third-place playoff. Kylian Mbappé. "Finishing in third place is not what you dream about when you begin a World Cup, and I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But once your final match is over and you have time to reflect on the entire journey, you begin asking yourself questions that are very different from the ones you had at the start. One of those questions revolves around just one person. How is Messi able to do everything he does? I played alongside him in Paris for years. I saw him every day in training, in the dressing room, and during moments that neither the fans nor the cameras ever got to witness. And I can tell you something that many people may not realize. Messi leaves nothing for anyone else." That's not a poetic phrase meant to make a speech sound better. It's a genuine observation from someone who worked very closely with him. What I mean is that whenever Messi is on the pitch, there is simply no room for anyone else to become the hero. Not because he is selfish or wants to be the center of attention, but because that's just what naturally happens whenever he plays. Everyone's eyes are automatically drawn to him. The defining moments always pass through his feet. The biggest decisions are made by him without anyone even asking. Any other player on the same team eventually becomes part of Messi's story rather than the owner of their own. And that is what has taken Argentina to the final. Argentina is there because Messi accepted the responsibility of carrying them this far. No one deserves the credit more than he does. France's head coach. I completely agree with every word Kylian has said. And I'd like to add something from the perspective of a coach who has analyzed every match in this tournament. Throughout this World Cup, I followed Argentina with complete objectivity because I was preparing for the possibility of facing them at any stage. Every time I watched them, I reached the same conclusion. This is a team that plays under the shadow of one man. That doesn't diminish the contributions of the other players, who have all done their jobs well. But it is a reality that cannot be denied by anyone looking at it objectively. Messi leaves nothing for anyone else because he simply cannot be any different. That is who he is, and that is the role history has shaped for him. Even if he wanted to step back and hand responsibility to someone else, the ball would still find him. Everyone would still look to him in the difficult moments, and he would once again be forced to become the solution. That is exactly what we have seen in every Argentina match throughout this tournament, without exception. And I say this without the slightest hesitation. Argentina are the favorites to win the final. Not because they are tactically stronger or because their squad is better than Spain's on paper. That simply isn't true. But because Messi is on the field. As long as Messi is on the pitch, every match remains open to endless possibilities, no matter how certain the outcome may seem. Kylian Mbappé. That's absolutely true. And I'd like to add something from my personal experience as a forward competing against him for the Golden Boot in this tournament. I followed his statistics almost every day throughout the World Cup. Every time I felt I had closed the gap or matched his achievements, he would do something extraordinary that widened it once again. He never stops. He is never satisfied. Nothing he accomplished in the previous match is ever enough for him. And now he is 39 years old, an age when many people believe a player should already feel content with everything he has achieved. But Messi doesn't know the meaning of complacency. That is what truly separates him from everyone else, even more than his talent itself. After winning every trophy and breaking countless records, he still plays as if there is something left to prove to the world. That is why I honestly consider him the favorite to win the final. Not because of respect or friendship, but because I know firsthand what it means to face a team that has Messi in a do-or-die match. You're not facing an ordinary team. You're facing the possibility that everything can change in a single moment you never saw coming. France's head coach. There is one more important point I want to make based on my experience. Spain are an outstanding team by every standard. They are extremely well organized and possess a generation of talented players who will lead world football for many years. But the reality is that finals are not always decided by organization or tactical discipline. Very often, they are decided by one individual moment that cannot be planned or prevented. And when your opponent has someone who is better at creating those moments than anyone else in the history of the sport, you find yourself in an incredibly difficult position, no matter how good your game plan may be. I have tremendous respect for Spain, and I sincerely wish them the very best, because they deserve to be in the final. But if we analyze it objectively and without emotion, the advantage belongs to Argentina. And the reason is just one name. Kylian Mbappé. Let me add one final thing that I noticed while playing alongside him. The Messi you see in training is no different from the Messi you see on match day. The same concentration. The same desire to win, even during the smallest training exercises that seem completely meaningless. I once saw him become frustrated simply because he lost an ordinary rondo drill. That mentality, after so many years and after winning so many titles, is the reason he is still capable of performing at such an extraordinary level as he approaches the age of 40. Many people believe everything Messi does comes purely from talent. I saw the other side of him, and I know that behind every magical moment lies relentless hard work and a passion that never fades. France's head coach. And that is what makes him so dangerous in a final. Many players lose their hunger after achieving success. I have seen dozens of players like that throughout my career. But someone who can maintain that hunger for 2 full decades is extraordinarily rare. That is why I do not expect Messi to let this opportunity slip away. He will play this final as though it is both the first and the last match of his life. Kylian Mbappé. One last thing before I leave this World Cup behind. Throughout my career, I have often been asked about Messi, and my answers have always depended on the situation and the context. But today, I will put it as simply as possible. I was fortunate enough to play alongside him. I was fortunate enough to compete against him. And I was even more fortunate to witness, with my own eyes, everything he has done throughout this incredible World Cup. He is someone who will leave nothing behind for anyone else as long as he is still able to play and wear his country's jersey. And I truly believe that tomorrow he will lift the trophy. And if that really happens, there will not be a single person in the world who deserves it more than he does. France's head coach. We leave this tournament with mixed emotions, and that is only natural after such a long journey that did not end the way we had hoped. But what Messi has shown throughout this World Cup will be remembered by all of us as one of the greatest individual performances ever witnessed in the history of the tournament. Good luck, Lionel. The entire football world is watching you, and everyone knows exactly what you mean to this sport. Alvarez's firm decision against Atletico Madrid as he prepares to deliver a major surprise after the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Argentina star Julian Alvarez is reportedly extremely frustrated and in a tense standoff with the Atletico Madrid board. The situation comes just hours before he is set to play in the 2026 FIFA World Cup final, following the latest developments surrounding his future and recent statements from the Spanish club's executives, who have firmly ruled out the possibility of his departure during this summer's transfer window. The root of the conflict between the Argentine striker and Atletico Madrid's management dates back to last February, when the club's CEO, Miguel Ángel Gil Marín, allegedly promised Alvarez that the club would facilitate his departure if an offer close to Barcelona's proposal was received. That promise reportedly encouraged Alvarez to publicly express his desire to fulfill his dream of joining Barcelona, hoping to pressure the club into honoring the agreement. However, tensions escalated after Gil Marín reportedly withdrew that promise and completely shut the door on Alvarez's exit. He insisted that Atletico Madrid is the best place for the Argentine forward and declared that he would not be leaving the club. Those remarks reportedly left Alvarez deeply disappointed, as he felt the Spanish club had failed to honor the commitment previously made to him. Since then, the relationship between the two sides has entered a new phase of conflict. Barcelona's position amid Julian Alvarez's crisis at Atletico Madrid. Amid the ongoing situation, Barcelona's management, led by Joan Laporta, has chosen not to become involved in any media dispute or public war of words with Atletico Madrid. The Catalan club has remained committed to its only reported offer, worth €100 million, with no intention of increasing the bid or reopening negotiations. Barcelona believes that the matter is now entirely in the hands of the player and his club to resolve. According to Spanish sports newspaper Sport, the big question now is whether Alvarez will submit an official transfer request after the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. Several Spanish media reports suggest that Julian Alvarez could take an even firmer stance once his World Cup campaign comes to an end. He is reportedly planning to face the media again to publicly reaffirm his desire to leave Atletico Madrid and fight for what he believes is his right based on the verbal agreement that was previously made. Such a move would represent his final attempt to sever ties with the club and fulfill his dream of joining Barcelona ahead of the new season.